My sister-in-law said that it was disgusting that I still held on to my dead baby, but my MIL defended me. My husband and I suffered the loss of our first baby just 3 weeks ago. I was 32 weeks pregnant, and I noticed that my daughter was not moving as much as usual on a Friday night or moving at all. Saturday at 3:24 a.m., I gave birth to her, stillborn. It was and is genuinely the worst thing that ever happened to me. Everyone and every mom warns you about postpartum, but no one warns you about suffering it with no baby. Since then, we've been bombarded with support from our family, and I am so grateful for that. My sister-in-law, however, I've never really gotten along with her. She always makes insensitive comments and knows MIL will back her up. Anyway, she came with my MIL to visit only a week after I gave birth. For context, my MIL says that my SIL is autistic, although she isn't diagnosed, and that she says things without thinking, which is a symptom of it. I'm not a big fan of her because I find her quite spoiled and a brat for a 21-year-old. While they were there, I was just trying to stay positive so I wouldn't cry in front of them. The first instance of her saying something really insensitive to me was when I mentioned joining a grief group because that's what my doctor recommended. She asked me, "A group for grieving moms? But won't their dead children be older? Would you even relate?" I understand it may have been just her not understanding, but it hurt worse than I thought. My doctor and mom have reiterated that I should consider myself a mom now, and I guess I just didn't know that some people won't think I am because I don't have a baby. And I never did, apart from a few minutes. But still, that's not even what I'm offended about. What hurt me was my MIL asking me if I got the chance to hold my daughter. I said yes, and was grateful to the nurses for treating her like every other baby, wrapping her up, putting her a hat on, and giving her to me. My husband agreed, and told them that he held her and carried her down to where she was going when I was done. And he was glad for that. My SIL then says, without hesitation, "Ew, you touched it when it was dead?" My heart dropped. First of all, referring to her as it is disgusting to me. And second of all, the entire sentence is just awful too. I genuinely didn't know what to say. My MIL scolded her and my husband told him it was time to go. I am sure he's at the edge, and another word from SIL might make him nuclear. She never apologized. Later on, my MIL called to apologize on behalf of CL. I told her honestly I didn't want or need an apology unless it came from her daughter, and even then, it was not likely I'd accept it. My MIL got pissy with me, and now they are both mad at me for alienating them because of her being autistic. I disagree heavily. Update: I could not sleep. The words of SIL keep replaying in my mind, and I am ashamed of myself for not having to defend my poor baby. My husband was distraught and found me breaking down in the bathroom. Thoughts like, it was my fault, and I should just die with her around my mind. My husband held me and cried too. He brought me to bed and held me until I fell asleep. He was an angel. When I woke up, he was not beside me. I went to the kitchen and saw him preparing a nice breakfast for us. While eating breakfast, he suddenly held my hand and said, "I love you." It was the most heartfelt "I love you" I have ever heard, and I will never forget that moment. I was reassured by those words that this man would never leave my side while I was facing this. I looked at my phone and there were a bunch of texts from SIL and MIL. They are asking me to tell my husband to change his mind. I was confused. I asked him about it and he shrugged. He said that he had requested MIL and SIL to take a diagnosis of SIL's condition, and only by then, and if the result will come out as SIL having neurotic problems, will he let them in our lives again. He also said he was tired of the BS MIL throws whenever her favorite daughter is at fault. He also said that he would not help them financially anymore and that SIL could work if she wanted to. She's an adult who needs to fend for herself.